Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commenttary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that point! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it back! Hello and welcome along to the Commenttary Hub's coverage of Fulham against Brentford in the Premier League. Saturday night football begins ahead of another round of fixture and end of another day's packed full of fixtures, with some more fixtures to come tomorrow as well. 3 games tomorrow, but only 1 game brought to you tomorrow here on the channel. We'll let you know about that a little bit later on then. So then we had a kick-off then. We'll just take a quick look at the earlier scores from the Premier League, just to remind people of the earlier days results in the Premier League on this Saturday afternoon. What happened earlier on today, we'll give you the scores right now. And it's in the lunchtime kick-off. It was Liverpool 2, Everton 1, Brighton 2, Tottenham 2, Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Leeds United 3, and Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. So we'll bring you those scores again at half time, and a roundup of those scores again at full time as well. As you can see there, Bournemouth against Newcastle, Sunderland against Aston Villa, and Arsenal v Man City, all the games in the Premier League tomorrow. Right then, let's turn our attention back to our match here tonight. It's at Craven Cottage. It's Fulham against Brentford in the Premier League. And right now, let's take a look then, shall we, of the two teams, starting off with Fulham, who line up as followed. The headline team news is that they make a unnamed starting lineup for their game against Brentford this evening. Harry Wilson keeps his place in the starting lineup. As for Brentford, the headline team news for the Bees is that Mikkel Damsgaard returns to midfield and Tyler Shenson drops to the bench. Let's take a look at your full lineups then, starting off with the home side, Fulham this evening. In goal is Ben Leno, is a back four of Kenny Tete, Rocky Manderson the captain, Calvin Bassett, Ryan Sessegnon across the back. It's Asa Lukic and Sander Berg in front of the back four. It's Harry Wilson, Josh King and Alex Iwobi behind Rodrigo Muniz. As for Brentford, then managed by Keith Andrews, full manager by the way, is Marco Silva. It's Kevin Keller in goal for them. It's a back five of Michael Coyote, Seth Vandenberg, Nathan Collins, Ethan Pinnock and Keane Willis-Potter. Euro Yarmaluk, Jordan Henderson and Mikkel Damsgaard in midfield, with Igor Thiago and Kevin Schade lead the line. The two benches then for Fulham is Benjamin Lecombe, Raul Jimenez, Tom Kearney, Adama Traore, George Quena, Samuel Chukwueze, Timothy Castagne, Kevin and Emil Smith-Rowe. For Brentford, on the benches, Red Marson, the goalkeeper, Ike, Emre, Jensen, Cavallio, Onyeka, Natara, Ayer and Janalt. The referee then tonight is Michael Oliver, assisted by Stuart Burt and James Mannering. The official is Simon Hooper, and if required at Stockley Park, Jared Gillett. And that's been all. Will be on VAR duty this evening. Jared Gillett, the lead official in the VAR booth down at Stockley Park this evening. So 8 o'clock kickoff is the time this game gets underway. Is Fulham against Brentford in the Premier League, as we about to get this game off and underway. We can tell you that Fulham in their traditional colours of white shirts, white shorts, white socks. Brentford are in their change strip of brown today for this game this evening. Full brown shirts This is we see Kimmy Shorter there. 5 goals in the last 9 Premier League appearances for Brentford. Is listening. Brown shirts, brown shorts, brown socks. We see the shot of Ref Cam here at Craven Cottage at the kick-off as we're about to get this game off and underway. As we are about to get this match off and underway and we are now underway as Fulham knocked all the way back to their goal. Brentford knocked all the way back to their goalkeeper. Long ball forward looking for Kevin Shorter, headed out to the near side by Kenny Tete, and is out for a throw-in to Brentford, which Keane Lewis Potter will leave, and that will Michael Coyote, and it will be a long throw into the penalty area from this near side the left. If you're just tuning into us, thank you very much for doing so. It'll be a long throw into the penalty area. Coyote with that. He's bouncing around inside the penalty area. Fulham trying to get to a shot comes in from the number 24 Damsgaard. He's cleared away only as far as Yarmaluk, who can take on his man out there. And he's up again and he's texting past the wall. A good bit of play there from Yarmaluk. Back he goes and out of play for an early throw-in to Brentford on that far side, which Coyote again will look to launch another long throw into the penalty area. Here is Fulham 0, Brentford 0 in the Premier League. As we watch this game unfold, there'll be a long throw into the penalty area. Where will this bounce inside the penalty box? Goes from throwing most of the last 2 seasons of Brentford with 7. Palace, Ipswich and Newcastle followed on with 2. Ipswich now play in the Championship. So it's going to be a long throw from Michael Coyote in around the penalty area again. Underneath the 6-yard box, ended up in the air by Joachim Andersen, and Ben Leno comes out all in red to claim and bowl the ball out to Sessegnon, who can fetch his ball forward for Fulham over on that far side. It's now back into Joachim Andersen just outside his own penalty area on the right hand side, down the line to Kenny Tete, who's advancing towards the halfway line. Plays into Wilson, who goes back to Joachim Andersen. Andersen will take a touch and go forward into Sander Bergs. That's a Lukic, sorry. Now here's Kenny Tete. Tete down the line to Harry Wilson. Round the corner, it goes well then. Rodrigo Muniz can't hold up the play. Tries to win the ball back and is now with Keane Lewis Potter. Good ball in fielding now. Kevin Shorter can't take it in his stride after a knee pass. It would have been a knee pass if he'd gone onto it from Igor Thiago, and it remains 0-0 in this game. Brentford looking to build on the positive point that they got last week at home to Chelsea, while Fulham got a 1-0 victory here last week against Leeds United, courtesy of an own goal from Gabriel Goodmanson. Leeds United got a win earlier today over Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux. 3-1 victory there as Fulham tried to come forward. Number 24 tries to keep the ball in play there for Fulham. He can't. Josh King, and he goes, we pushes out of play for a throw-in to Brentford, just level with their own penalty area on this left-hand side, which will be taken by Keane Lewis Potter, or will it? No, Keane Lewis Potter will leave it to Ethan Pinnock to take, and it'll be a long throw down the line from Ethan Pinnock, headed on and pushed away by Tete forward. He goes towards Thiago, knocks the ball back there to Vandenberg, into the number 6 there, Anderson. Jordan Anderson controlling the tempo really, really well. There is Craven Keller to clear the ball away, right footed down the line, up only as far as Calvin Bassey, who wins his header, and then Anderson wins the ball back, and now it's with Ethan Pinnock. Drops it in field to Jordan Henderson, the England international, back amongst the England fold under Thomas Tuchel after being dropped under now Sir Gareth Southgate from the England setup. Was Jordan Henderson, as Southgate tried to go for a more youthful approach for England, which got them to 2 finals, but just didn't get them one step over the line. Thomas Tuchel has not really got off to a good start in terms of performances on the field. Some good results in World Cup qualifying at England, and we'll be back in action next month, and hopefully we'll be able to some of those games on the commentary during the international break as well. We may get a few of the other games as well, like Northern Ireland maybe showcased here, and Scotland and Wales may also get involved. Germany may get showcased as well in our commentary action. Here's Kenny Tete, who looks to bring the ball in field. Good bit of movement. Here is a foul there, is it, on Josh King? The referee says yes, and the referee being Michael Oliver. And it's a free kick to Fulham. Good start to the game from both sides here as we watch on. Kenny Tete finds the captain, Joachim Andersen, and Andersen will play the ball towards Alex Iwobi, who can bring this ball forward. There is Josh King, back to Iwobi. Ross King again was giving the ball away. And Brentford, the man down there, but Iwobi comes charging forward with possession and strike. Is blocked by the Beast captain, Nathan Collins, the former Wolves defender. Kenny Tete will bring this ball forward. There's Sasha Lukic for Fulham. Now into Joachim Andersen, who can bring this ball forward. Tete, good ball inside to Iwobi, back to Tete again. And now Andersen infield to Sanderberg, who can drive through the heart of the midfield in towards the far side for Fulham, into Alex Iwobi once more. Now here is Sessegnon. Sessegnon takes a touch and he looks up, trying to find a teammate here. Goes back to Calvin Bassey, and Bassey drops it all the way back here to Bernd Leno. Leno infield to Joachim Andersen, who can bring this ball into Kenny Tete. Tete will look up and drop the ball into the number 5 there, Joachim Andersen, into Sessegnon once more as Fulham trying to go down the left-hand side again. Here's King into Iwobi towards Sessegnon inside the penalty area on the left-hand side. Collins beats him to it, but then he gets goal side and Sessegnon and just puts the ball out of play for a goal kick in the end. A good start by Fulham down that far side as we watch on. We've played almost 7 minutes in this game. It's Fulham 0, Brentford 0 in the Premier League. As you can tell with the Premier League logo in the top corner there, you can see the Premier League scores from earlier on going across the bottom of your screen. A recap of those from myself with the full classified check of the earlier games from today's matches in Premier League, Championship, League 1 and League 2 taking place at half time of this game today. It's Kevin Schade can't keep the ball in play as it goes out for a throw in to Fulham, which Kenny Tete will take. Marco Silva just prowling around in his technical area, watching along and making sure his side are well up for this one. There's a good bit of battling in the midfield as Brentford knock it all the way back to Keller, who can find Pinnock. Pinnock sends the ball forward, wonderful ball forward. He's cut out here, but he's out of play for a throw-in. Thiago goes down, clutching his knee. The referee is speaking to Lewis Potter, just trying to ask something here as Thiago gets to his feet, or sits up after being laid down on the floor. We'll just look at this again, and it's a late challenge there by Joachim Andersen. And Joachim Andersen, with a late challenge there, I think is presented now with a free kick to Brentford. 8.5 minutes gone here, still 0-0 between Fulham and Brentford. There's actually a long throw to Brentford, in fact. So no foul from that, as it will be going to be launched into the penalty area. Muniz is bad there defending, but he goes all the way through, and he's stopped on the line by Bernd Leno. I think he would go flick under the near post from a defender attacking at that near post. Let's look at this again. The little, no, I don't think he gets a touch there, does Nathan Collins. So let's have a look. This can angle will tell us just as slight as a touch as maybe off of Joachim Andersen in the end, and Leno just stops it with his legs to keep it out there. And it's Fulham 0, Brentford 0 here on the commentary of Russ Vernon, guiding you through the action. Sanderberg plays the ball out wide to the left hand side, and Sessegnon with the cross in. Too much on that, and he goes all the way through and out of play who are throwing here to Brentford. 0-0 is the scoreline if you're just joining us here this afternoon or early evening here on the commentary. Fulham 0, Brentford 0. Just a reminder, Brentford are in brown tonight. Brown shirts, brown shorts, brown socks. Fulham in their white shirts, white shorts, white socks. It remains Fulham 0, Brentford 0. 10 minutes gone as a long ball forward from Keane Lewis Potter, who can try and send it down the left-hand side. He goes out of play for another throwing to Brentford as Keith Andrews' side tries to make progression down the field. Keith Andrews' first managerial job, stepped into the tier of Brentford after being first-team coach and set-piece coach under Thomas Frank, and he stepped up when Frank left the Bees to go to Tottenham. Here's King though for Fulham, charging for the edge of the penalty area, blocked and cleared away. Here's Jordan Henderson to charge forward. Henderson inside to Damsgaard. Damsgaard back to Henderson. Thiago. Henderson tries to get the ball forward. It comes off with Calvin Bassey, who goes down. I think he got 80 right in the lower part of his chest there. Quite a painful one for Calvin Bassey. And it remains 0-0 between Fulham and Brentford. 11 minutes played here at Craven Cottage in the Premier League. The referee has been just handed over there, unless it was held back up to his feet by Alex Iwobi. And it remains 0-0 if you're just tuning into us here. This evening is Russ Vernon guiding you through the action this evening as we bring you Fulham against Brentford. And it remains 0-0. The ball, it goes all the way back in now to Keller, now back into Pinnock, as Brentford will start to try and go from the back. Now is Lewis Potter, a bit of play from King Lewis Potter here. Back he goes to Kieran Keller though, as Fulham forced Brentford backwards. Now they've now worked in well as here is Yarmulke over the halfway line on the left hand side. Forward towards Kevin Shaw, who can bring it under his spell. Henderson gets the ball forward for Thiago. Too much on that pass through, and Fulham have possession back. Through Joachim Anderson. In out wide to that far side in Alex Iwobi. Infield, he goes to Sanderberg. Now Anderson again into Tete. Tete brings the ball infield, and there's a good bit of movement here. He's into Alex Iwobi. Iwobi charging forward. Here's Lukic now. This near side, and Wilson. Wilson cuts the infield. Pulls the ball back for Lukic, whose shot is blocked. Good charging down there from Brentford, just getting standing in the way, standing up tall, making sure no shots can get past him. Here comes Anderson again, across into Alex Iwobi. Now back to Sessignon, now Anderson. A bit of play from King into Sasa Lukic there, into Wilson. Now out wide on this near side, the right to Tete, back into Lukic again. We'll play this one for King to Sessignon. Front by the line of the strikers. Then he goes out wide to Iwobi. Low ball sent into the penalty. Comes for Wilson, whose shot is blocked. And behind for a corner. Good start from Fulham. And the winner corner. 13.5 minutes gone, still 0-0. See a good bit of play from Alex Iwobi. And then Wilson takes on the strike. He comes off Nathan Collins, who got a block in there as Iwobi's ball come in. He moving his back towards Wilson, and that shot come in. And deflected behind. It remains 0-0 here. We're just showing it is on the commentary. Russ Vernon getting through the action. Fulham 0, Brentford 0 here. Commentary Hub, Storm FM, my very own personal Twitch channel this evening is the place to be if you are interested in listening to the game. If you are about to go out, I can tell you how you can listen to it in your car when you're out and about. Well, it's been a much way end of the way. You can Fulham trying to get it in towards the penalty area again. It's Wilson. Just keeps the ball in on this near side. Low ball into Anderson with the cross in, headed behind by Vandenberg. It'll be a corner. Good bit of play again. It was bouncing around inside the penalty. I think it may have been an own goal and that gone in there. And I was just looking at this again. I think it come off the back of Coyote. Good punch away from Keller there and Pinnock heading away as well. Brentford living dangerously at the moment. 0-0 the scoreline. Fulham against Brentford in the Premier League. 0-0 the scoreline. As we keep you updated here. Ball in towards the penalty area. It's bouncing around. Header from Anderson is blocked. Comes over across to Wilson. Back into the penalty area. Mooney's is there. Claimed by Craven Keller. And Brentford can have a sigh of relief there from that pressure there from Fulham. Here's Anderson who can try and have that bit of respite for Brentford as he goes back to his goalkeeper. Keller gets it back from Keller and finds Vandenberg. Now back into Anderson again. Now here's Pinnock. Back it goes there to Keller, who can clear the ball downfield up towards halfway. He's bouncing around. Here's Lewis Potter. A bit of movement here. There's a free kick to Fulham. Foul in the middle of the park there. Or I think that was Yoki Manson as we see a shot there of Raul Jimenez of Fulham, the Mexican international. Was unlucky against Leeds not to score when he came on, especially with the power of Kevin on there with him as well. He was a very dangerous player last week for Fulham, was Kevin, when he came off of the bench against Leeds United in the Premier League. Here's Leno now though to pass up towards Rodrigo Muniz, and it's safe to say that whichever striker starts, the other striker for Fulham always has more impact. As Tete puts the ball in towards the penalty area. Next to the far side in Sessegnon. Infield to Alex Iwobi. Good ball is from Fulham. Iwobi. Step over and roll across the ball. Here's Wilson. Lukic now gets it from Sanderberg. And Lukic sends up a strike and dragged it wide. And it remains 0-0. Decent effort in here from Fulham. We're just dragging that shot wide. And it remains goalless here between Fulham and Brentford. If you're just tuning into us here on the commentary, is Russ Vernon getting you through the action. Fulham 0, Brentford 0. In the Premier League, as you see, 7 shots for Fulham, none on target, 1 shot for Brentford, 1 on target. Fulham 11 touches in the opposition box, 1 for Brentford. Fulham 61% possession, Brentford with 39% possession of the ball so far. So Fulham have more shots in the game, but neither keepers really had to make a world-class save, shall we say. As Anderson wins it off of Muniz and finds Keller, and now it's with Collins. Collins will look up and find number 18 Yarmulke. The line to Pinnacle, sends the ball chip forward, looking for one of Lewis Potter. We bounced all the way through to Bern Leno in the goal for Fulham. The referee, Michael Evans, is in, and the official in a light blue shirt, black shorts, black socks this evening. If you're tuning into us this afternoon or morning or evening, depending where you are in the world, it's very good to have you with us. There's a goal for Brentford, and it's come from Mikael Damsgaard, who's been restored to the team after injury last week. Oh, mistake at the back, and Brentford from Mikael Damsgaard have opened the scoring. And we're looking here, I think it's Sessegnon who gave the ball away. You see, he's assisting on back to Leno. And then he gives and there's a poor pass there. There's Batty into Cesar Lukic, I believe he is. Watches, it's Cesar Lukic from Leno, and he's played it straight away. Actually, I think it's Josh King. Let's look at again. It's King. He gives it straight away to his opposite number 24, Damsgaard, who just finishes off into the bottom corner well. No chance for Leno. And Fulham are behind here at Craven Cottage. It's Fulham 0, Brentford 1, approaching the 20th minute mark. Mikael Damsgaard back in the side with his first Premier League goal of the season after Josh King gave the ball away, and he'll be looking to make amends now. Will Josh King for that error, which was punished. And you're always taught when you're growing up, never play to cross your own goal line when there's opposition around. And that's what King did. And they've been punished for it for them. Fulham 0, Brentford 1. As we watch this game unfold here, as the offside flag is up against King there. It remains 1-0 as Brentford kind of come charging forward against Kevin Shorter. Low cross into the penalty area. No one in the brown shirt inside the penalty area can get there. As Tete now comes forward up towards halfway into Sanderberg. I want to Alex Iwobi. Iwobi now charging forward in towards the penalty area. Headed down towards Rodrigo Muniz. Punched clear by Craven Cottage, who punches his own man away as well. And Brentford have got a free kick. I'm not sure how that could be a free kick for Brentford then when Craven Keller, the Brentford goalkeeper, was the one who punched his own man there. There was no foul from the Fulham player. In my opinion, on Ethan Pinnacle remains down. And it remains 1-0 to Brentford. Just a reminder of the earlier scores. If you just join us from the Premier League, we'll give you the scores. As you can see them going across the bottom of your screen. It's Liverpool 2, Everton 1 from earlier. Brighton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Not missing much as Pinnacle receives treatment to our right hand side. Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. West Ham United 1, Crystal Palace 2. And the Stokes that Graham Potter is under pressure there at West Ham United. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Leeds United 3. And Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1 are all full-time scores. And the latest score here, as you can see at the top of your screen, is Fulham 0, Brentford 1. As Kevin Schade, Jordan Henderson amongst those receiving some treatment from Keith Andrews, King Lewis Potter as well. Damsgaard, the goal scorer, just comes across and check as he just checks in. I mean, there is Pinnacle remains down. Just going through some checks here as Keith Andrews gives some tactical advice to his player, Mikael Damsgaard, who will return to the side tonight. And it remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1. Thanks to the goal from Damsgaard. It was well taken, but a poor mistake by Josh King, which allowed Brentford to score. As we see it again here, Bassett knocked it back to Leno. Leno went to King, and he just played it blindly there, and he fell for Damsgaard, and he slotted into the back of the net. As you see here, Josh King blindly plays it, Damsgaard races onto it, and he puts it beyond Burn Leno there, who was flat-footed and could do nothing about it other than watch it go into the back of the net. You see the head and hung in shame there by Marco Silva, the Fulham boss, as King puts his shirt over his head, and Anderson and a few of us just come and tap him on the back and say, just keep going, head up, you've got this. As King rewards with the mistake which allowed Damsgaard to score, as Paul Pinnock is now back on his feet and walking off to the side of the pitch here. Brentford just going through some checks. With me now, and remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1 in the Premier League as we watch on here. Good bit of movement. He's not back by Vandenberg to Kelleher. Now into Collins, it goes back to Keller. Keller takes a touch. King putting him under pressure, and Brentford almost gave the ball away to Fulham. The ball over the top looking for Thiago, just after this against Calvin Bassey. Bassey goes down. Thiago is penalised for a foul there on the Nigerian Calvin Bassey, and remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1. Fulham with a free kick in the right back spot, just 2 or 3 yards away from their own penalty area. A couple of yards in, 2 or 3 yards in from the touchline. Ball is forward by Joachim Anderson, up and flicked top by Rodrigo Muniz, looking for Aaron Wilson, who can't get there. It breaks now for setting, and now towards Iwobi. Now it's with Kiyode, who takes a short throw in this time to Anderson, and he goes back now to Vandenberg. And now it's back here with Pinnock from Keller. But now back onto his feet and joined his back on the field of play after that stoppage a few moments ago. We're towards 26 minutes on the clock here. It remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1. If you're just tuning us into us here on the Commenttary Hub, Russ Vernon guiding you through the action here this afternoon. Keep you bang up to date with the other scores from around the day today. The Premier League scores are going through the bottom, and we'll go through the Championship, League 1 and League 2 results at half time. In the about tonight, the ball was flipped on by Thiago for Kevin Schade. Let's get away from Calvin Bassey, who does well up against Kevin Schade, but Schade backed him well. Does that come off Bassey last? It does, which means Brentford have a corner. 26.5 minutes played, 1-0 Brentford lead here at Craven Cottage. A well taken goal by Mikhail Stamsgaard, if you're just joining us, after a poor giveaway by Josh King. There'll be a corner into his penalty. You can see the ref cam there watching on the edge of the box was Michael Oliver, as we see Pinnock make a late run into the penalty and towards the goal line. Ball in towards the penalty. Leno tries to get a punch to it, but there's a foul in there. And there will be a free kick to Fulham. 27 minutes gone here. Fulham 0, Brentford 1. So let's just see this again. How is this a foul on Leno there? Leno's pushing in. Leno there was pushing King Lewis Potter. King Lewis Potter moves out to his way. Tries to spin away from him, and he goes down, goes Leno. And we get a free kick. Fulham have taken it quickly. As Bassey drops it back now to Leno, but for me, I didn't see anything wrong with the challenge, which could have resulted in that free kick. In my opinion, there it remains 1-0 to the Bees, approaching the 28th minute of this game, and is now with Calvin Bassey. Bassey back to Leno inside the penalty on the left hand side. Left footed ball forward to Rodrigo Muniz, should I say, there's Jimenez on benches. This time he's given away by Joachim Anderson and Kevin Schade. Can he push him? This time he can't. And he should have really taken it on his own. Kevin Schade, instead of going for the cross, once he gets away from Joachim Anderson here, as he's watching, we give the ball away. Once he gets past here, once he turns inside past here, strike it there now. We'll lose. Too late in the end. But he's behind for a corner anyway. Came off Calvin Bassey last. Dan's got the goal scorer. Will take it over on that far side. He'll be pumped into the penalty area. Thiago ran underneath it, but so too was Ben Leno. Wins his, I guess, another free kick for his side there. And remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1, as we see a shot there of Emil Smith-Rowe, the former Arsenal man. He was also on loan at West Bromwich Albion. No West Bromwich Albion, Huddersfield Town, should I say. back when about 5 years or so ago was Emil Smith Rowe. And he scored against West Bromwich Albion, which helped Leeds in promotion that evening. And remains 1-0. Here now is a ball sent forward by Leno. Good control by Vandenberg inside the centre circle. But now breaks for Josh King. He's charging forward here. King is out wide to Wilson. Wilson inside the penalty area. Shot deflected towards the back post. Sitting on there. Cleared away the back post. There will break now for Igor Thiago. Thiago controls it well. Does well here, Thiago. Down the line it goes to Yarmlock, who turns away, gets away from Sander Berg. Berg wins it back off him, and now Bassey for King. King across there to Tete. Tete charging forward. Now he's back now with Alex Iwobi. The ball into Sessegnon inside the penalty. Sessegnon shot is blocked. Muniz is there, and he puts it over and onto the roof of the net. And he really should do better there. Fantastic little play. And you really got to say, he should be doing better there. Should the Fulham man, after this effort is spilled by the goalkeeper, Kelleher, he comes back up to a good place. Could only lift it over the top of the goalkeeper and onto the roof of the net. Kelleher takes a goal kick. Schade wins the header on and breaks towards Thiago, who's challenging Sanderberg there. Sasulukic was in the close attendance as well as the covering option in case he brought it down there. I got Thiago. Just to remind you, we've got live action tomorrow on the channel. We'll tell you about that at half time as well before we go for our break. And it remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1 here in the Premier League. He's now into Pinnock. The ball throw from Pinnock. Headed up and away by Joachim Andersen on as far as Schade. Schade can't take it in his stride though. He picks up the loose ball and goes behind for a corner. He tried to pick up the loose ball again. Kevin Schade, the ball was too quick for him when he went out for the corner. Should I have said there. It remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1. Goal from Mikael Damsgaard after a mistake by Josh King. Let's see what Brentford can do from this set piece. Can they punish Fulham and go 2-0 up in this game that I'm under? He's in towards the penalty area. Cleared away by the foul inside the penalty area. Gives a free kick. There was a foul on Harry Wilson. And it did look at the beginning of the game that Joachim Andersen had got the captain's armband for Fulham. However, I've just noticed Andersen has passed the armband on to Harry Wilson. So Harry Wilson has got the captain's armband for Fulham this evening. Just to let people know. There remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1 as the captain Wilson charging forward. Wilson with the cross in. It breaks towards the edge of the penalty. Cleared away at the vital moment. Only as far as Sessegnon again. And now it's Andersen for Fulham. Into Kenny Tete. Now into Harry Wilson. Back to Tete once more. Sanderberg does well into Andersen. Across on halfway to Calvin Bassey. Forward to that far side of the left. And Iwobi back to King. Now Iwobi again. It was Muniz, but too much pace on the pass through from Alex Iwobi. Can't pick out Rodrigo Muniz. and it remains Fulham 0. Brentford 1, 34.5 minutes to go. Well, of the first half gone. With about 10 or so minutes left to go in the game this evening. The ball is played forward. It breaks now to Harry Wilson. The ball in field to Sessegnon. Now Batsy. Good out ball into the path there of Alex Iwobi. Iwobi controls well to Batsy. Now there's a ball forward. Wonderful bit of play from Fulham here. It goes out of play though, as Fulham couldn't really get possession out wide after Wilson's cut forward. It remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1, just into the final 10 minutes of the first half. If you're just joining us here, all on the Commentary Hub. Also live on Storm FM and my own very own personal Twitch channel this evening. And if you're listening on Twitch and you're about to go out for the night or about to go out in the car, there's the night out, and you want to continue listening, just change it on and listen on Twitch. Just put it on your phone, put it on audio only, and be able to listen to it while you're out and about tonight on the way out to the clubs, or if you're getting ready while you're going before you're going out, and you just want to have it on with as a radio commentary rather than listening to us there. Just have it on Twitch and just have us listening to the coverage that way. You can hear myself, Russ Vernon, describe the action from Craven Cottage during the final 9 minutes of that first period, where it is Fulham 0, Brentford 1, thanks to the goal from Mikael Damsgaard. And now here comes Sessegnon. Good turn from King this time. This is better from King, who tries to come forward. Wonderful run from King. Josh King does well, but good challenge there from Michael Coyote. Brilliant piece of defensive work there from Michael Coyote. Remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1. Throwing it will be for Fulham through Sessegnon. Only as far as King gives the ball away. Now Henderson. Wonderful bit of play. Ball around the corner from Thiago, giving the ball away. As Henderson went on the same wavelength as the Bees striker. And the Bees will be buzzing about this scoreline so far, with especially how well contained Fulham as well. No real efforts for Craven Cottage to keep hold of. It remains Fulham 0, Brentford 1. If you're just joining us here, all the commentary Russ Vernon to guide you through the action this evening in the Premier League as we watch this game unfold. Wonderful bit of player from Fulham. Here's Iwobi. Good ball in field to Tete. Onto Sasa Lukic. Edge of the penalty area. Lukic lines up a strike and takes the deflection. That's the penalty, bouncing around. He shoots and it's into the back of the net from Alex Iwobi. And Fulham are level. It's 1-1. Alex Iwobi with the goal. Brentford appealing for a ball inside the penalty area. VAR will check it. But Alex Iwobi has got the goal for Fulham. Appealing for a ball up against Rodrigo Muniz. And I'm going to take another close look at this. Lukic does well on the edge of the penalty. Bounces up inside the penalty. It's bouncing around. They've just come off the arm there of Rodrigo Muniz. Let's look at this again from this angle here. This will tell us. He bounced up here. Yes, he does. He comes off Coyote's arm. And then comes off of Muniz's arm. And for me, this should be the South round ball. There does he come up. We'll check on VAR in a moment if the VAR does give him. The goal that's being given, it is 1-1, and the goal stands here. Craven Cottage is 1-1 between Fulham and Brentford. That goal is allowed. So Fulham are back on level terms before half time. Having looked at it for the third, fourth time, he didn't come off of Muniz's arm. It looked like he just come off Coyote's arm at the end there. And that's what Luke says. Goal stands. That's for me. We'll break off for the moment. Here's a Warby. There's a penalty area. Good ball into five. Wilson! It's 2-1 Fulham. And what a turnaround this has been. Harry Wilson has turned this game on its head. And 2 goals in the space of a couple of minutes. And Fulham are back into the league. Are in the league for the first time this evening. Harry Wilson with 2 goals in 2 minutes for the Fulham man. Look at for Fulham, should I say, what a game this has been. Really flicked on again. Comes off Collins. Rodrigo Muniz gets it out wide to Alex Iwobi. Iwobi with a superb pass into Wilson, who first time finishes it beyond Craven Cottage into the back of the net. And Fulham have taken a 2-1 lead. Fantastic bit of play. Wilson involved initially. Muniz out wide to Iwobi. Iwobi back to Wilson. And Wilson just says, "Thank you very much. I'll guide that into the bottom corner to put us 2-1 into the lead." And Harry Wilson has turned this game around. Nothing to do, no VAR checks will be happening with this one. That goal definitely stands. It's 2-1 Fulham. And now, Wilson is charging forward again. Into Tete. Now here's Lukic. Good bit of player. Bassi out wide to Iwobi. With out wide is Sessegnon. Back to Bassi here now. It remains 2-1 to Fulham if you're just joining us. In this game. Good bit of movement here. Here's Lukic in field there. To take a bit of movement here. Good ball in field from Joachim Anderson to Calvin Bassi. Out wide now to Alex Iwobi. Good bit of play this. Iwobi in towards the penalty area. Sessegnon. Left hand side of the penalty area. Back to Iwobi. Now King. He made up his teammates to manage to bail him out after his error led to Damsgaard's opener in this game. As Bassi's shot comes in and he bounces all the way through to Keller, and it's 2-1. Going back to the first Fulham goal, which was scored brilliantly by Alex Iwobi. Luke has said the goal stands for him as he came off Coyotes on non-meters, which I understand. 7 goals for Wilson against Brentford now, 6 against Birmingham, 3 against Barnsley. And this is the most against any opponents from by looking at the stats I've seen there for Harry Wilson. But Wilson took his goal superbly well, and what a game, and what a turnaround it has been in this game here at Craven Cottage. Ball is played forward. It was such a Lukic is out there. Lukic is there. That's the Lukic shot is blocked. And he will go and be kept in. Now King, he goes inside the filter. King will be buffer diving. Josh King gets buffer diving there. And Josh King goes into the referee's notebook. It'll be a yellow card for a diving. And is this a dive? Yes, it is. Most blatant dive you'll ever see. He doesn't even touch him. That's not a penalty at all. He just throws himself to the ground. Henderson doesn't touch him. And that is the most blatant dive you'll ever see. And Josh King picks up his first yellow card of the season. As Sessegnon is down on the floor, requiring some treatment here. It remains Fulham 2, Brentford 1. If you're just tuning into us right now, as we look at this again, this is the penalty stand. Is it a penalty? No. The officials on field have got that one spot on for me. As you see King here. No penalty here for me. And King Riley booked for simulation there. As we come up towards the end of the first half, as Henderson has a word with Keith Andrews as the players coming across and take a few instructions on board. The referee just getting confirmation. I think the VAR check might be underway, maybe, I think, for that penalty. But I can't see why. But VAR would have checked that incident. I'm not sure if they are still checking it. So I'll have a point to his ear a few moments ago to say as if VAR was still checking the incident. He's still talking here now. As a word with Stephen Sessington as we go into stoppage time at the end of this first half. No word on how many minutes of stoppage time will be added as of yet. We are into that now. We have got 5 additional minutes at the end of the first half. It remains Fulham 2, Brentford 1. As we just have a look here from Ref Cam as the referee gets this game back off and under Sessington off the field at the moment. After off the field for around about 30 seconds from when the play resumes. So he'll be back on very, very shortly. Will Ryan Sessington be allowed back on shortly? Throwing it goes to Fulham. It remains Fulham 2, Brentford 1 in the Premier League, if you're just joining us this afternoon. Or this morning, or this evening, depending where you are listening to us here on the Commenttary Hub. Russ Vernon guiding you through the action. As there's a man down, but it's a throw to Fulham. It was Collins who went down. He was looking for a free kick to Brentford. That was only a throw-in to the home side, who now lead by 2-1. Ball is played forward. Another throw looking for Rodrigo Muniz. Collins gets it back to his goalkeeper, Keller, across to Coyote, who cuts it in field, and then plays it across his back line. And luckily for Brentford, Fulham didn't capitalise like they did down at the other end, down the BC down the other end earlier on in the game, which is to lead through. Here's Wilson though now into Anderson, and back he goes now to Leno, now into Bassey. Bassey takes a touch and will come forward. Goes into Alex Iwobi. Now Berg into Lukic, and Lukic just over halfway, and he's charging forward. It's Sasa Lukic. Good bit of play this from Sasa Lukic. Here's Kenny Tete into Harry Wilson. Wilson does well. Back now, he goes inside the penalty area for Sander Berg. Berg's low cross in is cleared away by Ethan Pinnock. He comes to King Lewis Potter, who can clear the ball away downfield. Headers up and away. He will break in the edge of the penalty area, will be cleared away. And here comes Henderson with the ball forward. In towards Iwobi, who can't bring it forward. Coyote intercepts and charges forward for Brentford. Tries to get the ball through for Thiago. Breaks now for Alex Iwobi for Fulham. Fulham take control of possession, took control of proceedings ever since Brentford took the lead. But Brentford did keep him at arm's length for quite a bit. But Fulham now completely in control as Batsman goes down under the challenge there. As Leather comes forward, breaks for Fulham, but the offside flag is up there. James Mannering with the flag up, and he says he come back from an offside position in his view there towards the Fulham, towards the Brentford striker Kevin Schade, who went out to that far side to try and get hold of the ball as the ball is yet to come to him down the left side of the front two alongside Igor Thiago, as Ben Leno will take this goal kick forward. It breaks now and it's out of play. It will be a throw in here to Fulham. Wilson will look to take it away. Now it leaves it to Kenny Tete, and we've played 4 of the 5 additional minutes that have been added on here at the end of this first half. Lukic gets it forward towards Muniz, who breaks now for Berg, who can't get there. This time it's Thiago on towards Schade, and Kevin Schade is charging away for Brentford. Wonderful running from Kevin Schade into the penalty area it goes, and he just loses his footing at the vital moment. Otherwise, that could have been a potential danger for Fulham. But Brentford defend well at the back, but Fulham coming forward this time. Alex Iwobi plays for handball, nothing given. Brentford clear the ball up towards halfway. Breaks for Lewis Potter. King Lewis Potter. And he showed a bit of magic. Here, Lewis Potter. And it remains Fulham 2, Brentford 1. Closing stages of the first half, and Craven Cottage is coming up to take it. He was just short of halfway. This is how the Brentford half of the field, so got potential last chance saloon for Brentford before the half-time whistle does go here at Craven Cottage. The ball is pumped in towards the penalty area. It breaks away there, and there's the header. As the half-time whistle sounds here at Craven Cottage, and we are at half-time between Fulham and Brentford with the scoreline of Fulham 2, Brentford 1. Goals coming from Dan Scott on 20 minutes to pull the Bees into the lead, but Iwobi and Wilson turned this game around in the space of a couple of minutes to put Fulham in control here at Craven Cottage. But it's half-time in the Premier League of Craven Cottage is Fulham 2, Brentford 1. Right now then, before we go for our half-time break, let's take a recap of the scores from the matches early on today, starting in the Premier League. Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Brighton of Albion 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. West Ham United 1, Crystal Palace 2. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Leeds United 3. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. Half-time here at Craven Cottage, and our evening kick-off is Fulham 2, Brentford 1. Bournemouth v Newcastle, Sunderland v Aston Villa, and Arsenal Man City are all on Sunday afternoon. Into the Championship. Middlesbrough 2, West Bromwich Albion 1 was Friday night. This afternoon's matches. Birmingham City 1, Swansea City 0. Leicester City 0, Coventry City 0. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Stoke City 0. Blackburn versus Ipswich. Match was a banging due to a walk-off pitch. Blackburn were leading 1-0 at the time. Derby County 0, Preston North End 1. Hull City 3, Southampton 1. Norwich City 2, Wrexham 3. Portsmouth 0, Sheffield United 2. No, Sheffield Wednesday 2, sorry sir. Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. The return for Chris Wilder at Bramall Lane today saw Sheffield United 0, Chelsea Athletic 1. Championship kickoffs, Bristol City versus Oxford United. And then on Monday night is Millwall against Watford. Into EFL League 1. Blackpool 1, Barnsley 0. Bolton Wanderers 4, Lincoln City 1. Wigan Athletic 1, sorry. Lincoln City 3, Luton Town 1. Cardiff 1, Bradford 3. Youngster 1, FC Wimbledon 2. Huddersfield Town 0, Burton Albion 0. Plymouth Argyle 0, Peterborough United 1. Port Vale 2, Mansfield Town 1. Reading 2, Leyton Orient 1. Rotherham United 0, Stockport County 1. Just Stevenage 2, Exeter City 1. Wycombe Wanderers 2, Northampton Town 0. League 2. Cambridge United 2, Fleetwood Town 1. Harrogate Town 2, Shrewsbury Town 0. Barnet 3, Grimsby Town 0. Barrow 1, 2 0. Bromley 0, Chesterfield. Bromley 2, Chesterfield 2. Cheltenham 0, Oldham Athletic 3. Colchester 1, Bristol Rovers 1, MK Dons 1, Accrington 2, Newport County 1, Gillingham 3, Notts County 4, Crawley Town 0, Salford City 3, Swindon Town 2, Walsall 4, Tranmere Rovers 2. So that brings the end of League 2 scores. And at half-time in our match, just to recap, is Fulham 2, Brentford 1 here at Craven Cottage. Join us back from about 5 or so minutes time for the start of the second half. Welcome back to the Commenttary Hub's coverage of the game between Fulham and Brentford. Fulham leading by 2 goals to 1, and they'll be hoping to continue with the goals in the second half. 2 late ones in the first half, and a couple of minutes before. They'll be hoping that more goals will follow in the second half as they look to put daylight between themselves and Brentford in this game. We're back underway in the second half. We've got the Fulham going back underway. We're coming back and finding the ball to this near side, and setting on back he goes there to Iwobi, back to Batsy, and from at the back here remains Fulham 2, Brentford 1. No changes to either side at half time as I can tell from here. So I'll run you through the 2 sides right now. It's Leno in goal, Tete, Anderson, Batsy, and Sessegnon across the back of Fulham. In the midfield then for Fulham, it will be Lukic and Berg, with Wilson, King on the yellow card, and Iwobi behind Nunes. As for Brentford, Kelleher lines up between the sticks. Vandenberg, Collins and Pinnock across the back. Coyote, Damsgaard, Henderson, Yarmuluk and Lewis Potter, Thiago and Sade in midfield. I'll recap you the benches in a moment as here comes Lewis Potter in towards Sade, breaks towards Coyote, who can't get there, just brilliant challenge from Sessegnon in the end. And now, here comes Coyote, back to Thiago, Henderson again, and it's out of play. So throwing on this near side. Fulham 2, Brentford 1 is the scoreline. If you're just joining us here on the Commentary Hub, we're also live on Storm FM and my very own personal Twitch channel this evening. It's a long throw in towards the penalty area for Brentford coming up now, which will be taken by Michael Coyote. They've got Collins inside the penalty area. So to Vandenberg and Pinnock, who breaks into us and so just touched over for a corner from Bern Leno. Good piece of goalkeeping from Leno. They've just got down to it there, did Ben Leno, as he was flicked, and I think he may have come off Sessegnon last year. Would have been an own goal had that not gone, had that peeped in there. It remains Fulham 2, Brentford 1. If you're just joining us here on the Commentary Hub, as a ball is played in towards the penalty area from Damsgaard, cleared away at the near post by Fulham, and now back towards Damsgaard again. Down the line is Coyote. Coyote with the ball into the penalty, breaks up to the edge of the penalty looking for Damsgaard. He gets ahead of Wilson, but Wilson intercepts this time. Coyote there ahead of Sessegnon. Damsgaard can't get there as here comes King now. King will look off, goes back to Batsy. Batsy gets it down the line to King on this near side, the Fulham left, as King moves his way infield. Challenged by Shadow, spins away from him and finds Batsy once more. Batsy now looking to come forward. Batsy does well here now. Can he get the ball? Finds out wide with Sessegnon. Sessegnon down the line. Wonderful bit of play from King into Batsy. Batsy just over halfway in across the centre circle. The far side in Tete. Tete takes a couple of touches. Gets it forward to Iwobi. Good bit of play this from Fulham. Back he goes now to Anderson. Across to Batsy. Batsy into Harry Wilson. Wilson takes a touch to Batsy. Batsy takes a couple of touches and back to Wilson. Wilson looks to get the ball forward, looking for the run there of Alex Iwobi. Charged down by Jordan Henderson for Batsy. Batsy to Tete. Tete out wide to the far side. And Josh King, who drops it bad this time to Anderson. Now Leno. Bill Leno takes a touch. Spreads it out wide to Sessegnon that flicks the header onwards. For Iwobi to bring under his spell. Iwobi infield away from Coyote to find Sanderberg. Over halfway now is Sanderberg, the Norwegian. Wonderful bit of play he can do here. Now out wide he goes out. Wonderful piece of play this, as is Fulham 2, Brentford 1, as Tete finds Wilson. Back now there from Anderson, crossfield pass, looking to pick out Sessegnon. Who's he that? Ryan Sessegnon. Brilliant crossing towards the penalty. Ellis into his own net! And it's Ethan Pinnock who puts the ball into his own net. And 2 weeks on the spin, Fulham scored the goal. Last week it was Gabriel Goodmanson who put through his own net when he was playing for Leeds United against Fulham. And this time it's another defender, Ethan Pinnock, who puts through his own net to make it Fulham 3, Brentford 1 this time. What a ball out wide to Steven Sessegnon from Joachim Anderson. Sessegnon, there was a delightful cross and he gets it. He did it all wrong there, just Ethan Pinnock. Good control from Sessegnon. He whips the ball in and he heads it into the back of his own net. A brilliant header there from Ethan Pinnock. And Ethan Pinnock just says, "Oh no, what have I just done?" He's actually come off his head, he comes up for his back here, actually. Watch this again as he flick from Collins onto the back of Pinnock, and he loops past Keller into the back of the net, and Fulham have a third. Fulham 3, Brentford 1, and Brentford, the new manager, we're 1-0 up in this game. Pinnock, the unfortunate man this time with the own goal. Ball is played forward, pass the edge away for Shara. Thiago's there. Wonderful touch away from Berg. Here from Brentford. As Damsgaard can't get the ball forward. Here's a Robin. Good bit of play from Fulham this time as they try and break out. Wilson. Infield to Lukic. Lukic does well. Find Berg. Back he goes now to Calvin Batson. Batson gets this ball forward into Alex Iwobi. Iwobi with the ball forward for Sessegnon. Sessegnon does well. He slips at the back to a moment though, but still got possession here, Sessegnon. Good control from Sessegnon, does well. Holding up the play brilliantly. Sessegnon does well to cut in field. And he goes down and the referee says goal kick for Brentford. Which Keller, the Republic of Ireland international goalkeeper, will take and has gone with it quickly. There's Vandenberg into Anderson. Anderson takes his time and finds Damsgaard. We've got this scoring underway in this game tonight. And Fulham fall back with 3 unanswered goals to lead by 3-1. Wilson gave away a free kick that time. Brentford have gone with it fairly quickly. Pinnock, the man who put through his own net a few moments ago, Damsgaard does well, loses out, but he's fouled, and a yellow card there is shown to a Fulham player. Just trying to work out who it is. I believe it's Sasa Lukic who's been booked. I just need to confirm. Let's have a look here. Is it Sasa Lukic who's been booked here? Yes. Sasa Lukic booked for the foul there on Damsgaard. Pull of the shirt. And Sasa Lukic goes into the booking for his 3rd booking of the season. 2 more bookings. We'll see him miss a 1-match suspension due to 5 yellow cards for Sasa Lukic. He needs to be careful in the next couple of matches. He'll pick up a yellow card. Ball into the penalty area though. It is round the back. And of course they're trying to head it back across goal. Lewis Potter with the ball back in towards the penalty area. Brace for Fulham and King to come away with possession. And he loses the ball as he and Fulham receive a free kick foul on Kevin Schade. Brentford have taken it quickly. Damsgaard does well. Holds up the play. Can't pick out a teammate. And now Wilson can come forward. Up towards halfway. Wilson in field. He gives the ball away. Vandenberg can come forward. Here is Thiago. How wide it goes in now. Schade. Kevin Schade does well. Holds up the play. Drops it back here to Damsgaard. Into Henderson. Lewis Potter now gets involved in the build-up. Henderson gets it back off him and finds Collins. Collins can come forward over halfway on this near side, the right. Infield it went to Henderson. Henderson with the chip ball forward. It breaks towards Thiago. Heading inside to Yarmul, coming down well on his chest to find Damsgaard. Damsgaard's got Lewis Potter out wide if he wants to use him, which he does opt to use him. Lewis Potter's cross is brought by Wilson out for a throw-in. Will Brentford wait for Michael Coyote to come across and take to launch this one into the penalty area so he can bring the big men up from the back, including Pinnock, Collins, Vandenberg, amongst others. And that is exactly what happened there, which King Lewis Potter is moving across towards this right-hand side, while the right wing-back Michael Coyote is across on the left-hand side with the long throw, which goes into the penalty area. Pinnock can't get there. Breaks for Yarmolo. Headed out wide to Coyote. Coyote tries to take on his man. Heads it down. Gives the ball away. Here's King. King gets the ball for Muniz. He gives the ball away to Henderson. Vandenberg. King battling with him. And Vandenberg comes out on top. And there's a wonderful turn from Damsgaard. In towards Thiago. Back to Damsgaard again. Good play this from Brentford. Damsgaard still going. Moves out to Cesar Lukic. Lukic out wide to Iwobi. Now into Sanderberg. Back to Iwobi again. His ball forward takes a deflection. Will he go out for a throw? It will. But the throw will go to Fulham as well. And it's good play from Marco Silva's men, who has done remarkably well to turn this game around after Mikael Damsgaard opened the scoring to punish Josh King. But then goals from Iwobi and Wilson, and then an own goal from Pinnock has turned this game on its head to make it Fulham 3, Brentford 1 after 55 minutes, 10 minutes into the second half. The play goes. Here's Calvin Bass against the ball. Ball to Alex Iwobi. Iwobi charging forward. And it's out of play for a throw here to Brentford. Yarmoluk is there. Who gave the ball away, and he's for that throw for Fulham, which will be taken by Sessegnon. Just a couple of yards down from where Keith Andrews, the Brentford boss, is standing and watching along. Will throw from Sessegnon, headed up and away, brings it down under his spell, goes out of play for a throw-in. Yarmoluk will take for Brentford. Coyote comes across and says, instead Yarmoluk. So Yarmoluk will leave it for Coyote to take. And Coyote will throw the ball in field. Back it goes this time, and now it's pumped forward by Vandenberg into the night sky here at Craven Cottage. Yarmoluk brings it down and finds Damsgaard. Damsgaard gets the cross there to the far side. And Lewis Potter. Lewis Potter infield to Henderson. Back to Damsgaard this time. Henderson once more turns away from his man and picks out Damsgaard again. Back he goes to Pinnock this time. Across to Collins now. Collins will look up and come over halfway for Vandenberg. Down the line is Coyote. Good bit of play this from Brentford. Back he goes to Collins, who's after Brentford will force backwards there. Collins with a pinball ball forward looking for Shana. He's in behind up against Calvin Bassett. Shana helps into the penalty. Thiago's there with the header, and it's a comfortable save after he bounced into the ground and claimed well by Ben Leno. Here's Sanderberg to control possession well. Back he goes now to Vandenberg again. Back he goes to Anderson, should I say, this time for Fulham. Now Bassett. Bassett can come forward into Alex Iwobi. Iwobi drops it back to Bassett once more. Bassett gets it back here now to Anderson. Anderson to Tete, who clears it downfield. Tete helps it further on. Rodrigo Muniz battling Collins for possession. Collins goes down holding his face. Referee says play on. Rodrigo Muniz! It's 4-1! And Fulham have a fourth! Rodrigo Muniz with the goal! And Fulham, after 59 minutes, are 4-1 up in this game. Fornelson goes here. There's a man down for Brentford here with blood pouring from his mouth here. Collins. Clemens got an elbow there. We'll check on the replay. VAR will check this for a potential foul. The goal has been given so far. Rodrigo Muniz with the goal. Fantastic finish from the Brazilian. Let's look at the build-up in this. He's ball down well. He does catch him. I believe that's accidental there from Rodrigo Muniz. He's challenging for the ball and he can't keep his arms down by his side when you jump in. And then Rodrigo Muniz fires it past the goalkeeper there, Queen Keller. And we look at this again, he just catch him with his other arm as he spins around. I believe that's accidental in my opinion. Some may say it's a definite foul and the goal should be chalked off. Well, the goal may still get chalked off. VAR will be checking everything here. Rodrigo Muniz, if he does get disallowed, this Fulham will have had 2 goals to stand. We are checking this for a potential foul here. I agree with Luke. He says that's not a foul. That is accidental. The referee is going across to the monitor here, and we know what normally happens when the officials go to the monitor. So Michael Oliver comes across to the monitor. Jared Gillett is sent him across to the monitor to have a look at this. Both Gillett and Natalie Aspinall believe this is a foul by Rodrigo Muniz. I don't think it is. VAR showing him again here as we just watch this here. This is accidental for me. He just jumps in. Where's he supposed to put his arm? He can't jump with his arm by his side. He jumps with his arm up in the air. Slowing it down then. Looking at it from the angle there. And very slow down. Now it does look like an elbow to the face. VAR have checked it through now. Michael Oliver coming to the conclusion. And he will say after review. In a minute we'll get the confirmation. Let's see what Michael Oliver says. And the referee, and he says, and the referees disallowed the goal and given a free kick to Brentford following the VAR review. No goal, and the goal from Rodrigo Muniz has been disallowed. It is back to 3-1. For me, that is accidental. That's not a foul. It is not 4-1, as you can see across the bottom of the screen. The score on the top of your screen is the correct score of 3-1. Another one that you can see going across the bottom of your screens there as we see this game unfold, as we watch the game unfold this evening as we bring you Fulham against Brentford in the Premier League. As a ball is now coming forward with Josh King. Will Rodrigo Muniz get his goal tonight? We thought he just had a moment ago, but that goal got disallowed. It breaks here now to Sasa Lukic, who goes down and is that foul. The referee says no, play on. But then there's a delay of a free kick here, and Fulham have a free kick and it remains Fulham 3. Brentford 1, and Fulham taking it quickly into Josh King, who fires wide and not so handsome into the stand away to my left hand side. Brilliant free kick taken ever so quickly and just fired into the side, into the crowd behind the goal away to my left hand side. It remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1 after that goal from Rodrigo Muniz being cancelled out a few moments ago for a foul, which didn't look like a foul to me, and it also didn't look like a foul to the man producing for me this evening, Luke Turton, either. As the ball is played forward here into the path there of Bernalino, as Fulham, in my opinion, made a goal wrongly ruled out for a foul. No, I didn't feel like it was a foul there in my personal opinion, but some people may do, and if they do, that is fine. It is their prerogative, but for me, I don't believe he was. But there we go. Fulham 3, Brentford 1 is the scoreline here. If you're just joining us here on the Commenttary Hub, Russ Vernon guiding you through the action this evening. And he's back with Collins. And it's across there now to Pinnacle, can get the ball forward. Charlotte to Anderson. And now this is a good bit of play from Brentford. Is Lewis Potter towards the penalty on the left hand side. Towards Charlotte. Oh, can't get back. Then it's cleared away by Harry Wilson. Alex Iwobi brings it down well, the Nigerian. Good control. And now there's a foul there on Josh Kimball. The referee waves play on. The ball going out of play for a throw-in. Was he brought him up for a foul? I believe he has. And unless Brentford will look to make a change here in a moment. Well, a couple of changes actually Brentford are looking to make. Just do it. We'll get confirmation of those in a moment or two's time for you. Well, they're happening right now, in fact. First one is number 9, Igor Thiago, to be replaced by Dango Atara. And the other one sees number 23, King Lewis Potter, be replaced by number 3, Rico Emery. So Emery and Atara on, Lewis Potter and Thiago off in the substitutes. There is Fulham 3, Brentford 1. Fulham going to go disallowed for offside. I just got confirmation of the subs have just appeared in your screen underneath the scoreboard. Sessegnon was a penalty in the back post. He breaks for Harry Wilson. Good bit of play this. He drops it back now to Kenny Tete. Tete gets it for Wilson and puts it out of play. We're throwing over on that far side. And it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1, as you can see there. Emery as Fulham now make a change, which we'll see number 22, Kevin, come on. And he will replace number 24, Josh King. Kevin looked very, very lively in the outing against Leeds last week. I'm hoping he's still at the same level of performance today against Brentford. But as I keep saying, every time I've done a game in the past few weeks, I've always had goals. I've never had a 0-0. And that's the case again tonight, with Fulham leading by 3-1. Here's Rodrigo Muniz, it's Rodrigo Muniz, turns Rodrigo Muniz into the side netting. Well, the flag is up for offside again. The flag is up for offside here. I'm trying to see, it is offside. Is it Rodrigo Muniz this time? Yes, he's just offside there, Rodrigo Muniz. So if that gone in, he wouldn't have counted either. And it was meant to be made 2 disallowed goals. But it's Fulham 3, Brentford 1, and the ball is played forward. And this is a good ball for Rico Emery. Emery towards the penalty area. Curly round the back, but Sessegnon gets there first and puts it behind. It will be a corner to Brentford. Good piece of play this. Good game. And it's Fulham will lead here by 3-1. And Mikhail Damsgaard comes across to take this corner kick. Ball. Brentford, he's taking it now into the penalty area, the way by Fulham. He breaks there. Kevin, who can try and charge when he's doing exceptionally well there. Kevin, he's brought a free kick and a yellow card to the way of Nathan Collins, and a free kick to the way of Fulham. So the Brentford captain penalised for a foul on Collins, on Kevin there, as two number 22s collided with each other. It remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1. And that's his second yellow card of the season for Republic of Ireland international, Nathan Collins. Ball is forward there, in towards Rodrigo Muniz, who his performance today should also have a goal with it. And now Keller can clear this ball away. Chests it down well and field to Alex Iwobi. Rodrigo Muniz out wide. Harry Wilson just keeps the ball in play but gives the ball away. Now Brentford try and come forward. They're giving the ball away as well. Berg intercepts that time and finds Anderson. Now finds Bassey, who plays out wide towards his left for Sessegnon. Sessegnon gets it down the line here towards Kevin. Back to Sessegnon again. And it's controlled by Leno to clear out towards that far side, the right. Chested down by Rico Emery, running over on that far side. His ball is forward towards the penalty area. It's just left his own ball when he almost got there. I tell you what we can do, Sharda, and he can win Brentford the corner. A bit of play from Kevin Sharda, went slow to react. And remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1 here if you're just tuning us into us for the first time this evening. For just joining us today, it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1. Ball in towards the penalty area, punched away by Berlino. Brilliant piece of defensive work. And he punches it away well. It's back here now to Henderson. To Damsgaard, crossing, round the back edge, he's going up and down. Down for another corner. A bit of play from Brentford this time. And remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1 in this game. Luke says, should come in Russ goals Vernon. Maybe Luke, since I say every time I do a game, I always get goals. Ball in towards the penalty, headed away this time well. Goes towards Coyote with the header up in the air. Yomalo gets it back to Henderson, who gets it forward, giving away though. He breaks through Sasa Lukic. Lukic does well. And it's a free kick to Fulham. In this game, it remains 3-1. If you're just tuning into us this evening, Brentford are just limited to make a double change, which will see number 20, Christoph Ayer, and number 27, Matari Janelt, come on in a few moments. Sessiones picks up the ball. In this game today. If you're tuning into us, thank you very much for doing so. It remains 3-1 here to Fulham, who can look to try and add a fourth in a moment if they can get these next passages of play correct. They've been forced backwards, so they won't get a fourth goal like this at the moment. Here's Bassey. You can give the ball away. Robbie wins the ball back into Sanderberg. And now Joachim Andersen can come forward. Here's number 22, Kevin, who can stretch his legs a little bit here now. Good ball out wide to Wilson. Wilson loses out, but Lukic can't get there. Can he this time? No. Brentford with Emery gets the ball forward for Sharda. Coming Sharda around the corner looking for Univatara. Picked out by Anderson to find Tete. Back to Anderson. It goes and across now to Sessignon. Gets it back to there from Kevin. It remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1 if you're just joining us here this evening. A bit of movement here. What can we do? Our ball is played down the line out of play for a throw-in. And Brentford will make a double substitution here. Coming off is number 5, Ethan Pinnock, to be replaced by Christoph Ayer. And also coming off is number 6, Jordan Henderson, to be replaced by number 27, Vitaly Janelt. So 2 substitutions here for Brentford. Ethan Pinnock replaced by Christoph Ayer, and Jordan Henderson replaced by Vitaly Janelt there as well for the Bees this evening. If you've only just joined us, Fulham 3, Brentford 1 goals. The goal scoring started with a Mikael Damsgaard goal before Alex Iwobi, Harry Wilson, and an own goal from Ethan Pinnock turned this game on its head. Fulham did have a goal disallowed due to a foul by Rodrigo Muniz, as you see Vitaly Janelt on 137 appearances in Premier League for Brentford. Most duns there. And it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1 as we watch this again, as we see the disallowed goal there. And for me, that's just accidental. Even more and more time I say that's accidental there. He didn't mean to do that, in my opinion. Some may think he will have done, but for me, and for my producer, it was very much accidental, that challenge there. In the end, remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1. If you're tuning into us for the first time this evening, thank you very much for doing so. It's Russ Vernon being the commentary from the game this evening. As we watch this game unfold, as Fulham have got around about 15 minutes to go to try to either extend their lead or hang on into this 3-1 lead against Brentford. If you're tuning to us for the first time today, thank you very much for doing so. We really do appreciate it. You joining us here on the commentary for the game between Brentford and Fulham at Craven Cottage this evening in the Premier League as you watch this game unfold. And if you're listening for the very first time today, thank you for doing so. We really do appreciate your time and effort and support of the channel. And if you're new here as well, please like the video and subscribe us. We've got more Premier League coverage coming for you this weekend. Tomorrow afternoon, we've got Arsenal against Manchester City for you in the Premier League. Make sure you join us for that one as we bring you that game in the Premier League tomorrow. Arsenal against Manchester City is our next live offering after tonight's game. Make sure you join us tomorrow afternoon. We're about 4:20, 4:25. We'll go on ahead of the 4:30 kickoff between Arsenal and Manchester City. But he's a Tara for Brentford in our match tonight, trying to cause a few problems, and he's got out of play for a throw-in. Brentford in the second half have had 2 shots on target. Fulham have yet to have a shot on target in the second half. And it will be another long throw-in by Michael Coyote, who will launch this into the penalty area. Heads go up and he breaks inside the penalty area for Atara, who's up and just goes over the top of the crossbar deck. According to the referee, gets the deflection and it's behind for a corner. Lovely long throw into the penalty area, bouncing around inside the penalty, and Atara with the shot just over the top of the crossbar. Ball into penalty, heads up and away this time by Fulham. Kevin trying to go on this as he looks to bring it forward. Harry Wilson chasing down Coyote. Good piece of play from Michael Coyote as he looks to come forward. Is it to that far side, which is now with Emery, who can try and get forward. We can't pick out a pass. He's now Muniz. He gives the ball away this time. Here comes Damsgaard. Down the line it goes. There, good piece of play for Brentford. Christoph Higher with the crossfield pass for Coyote. Level with the penalty area on the right hand side. Tries to take on Sessington and just got his number there well. And he goes down there, Sessington, and he puts it out of play. And it will be a throw-in to Brentford. Brentford fans over that side. They're watching as we see a sign that says "Come on, Fulham." Brentford fans clapping along as they will to encourage their team to get another goal here. Michael Coyote with the long throw into the penalty area. Bounces around, comes back towards Coyote. He slips at the vital moment. He still manages to keep hold of possession. Kramer with the cross in. And the towards goal and just over the top from Collins. Well, the flag was up there for offside against the Brentford captain, Nathan Collins. As Fulham make yet another substitution, and it is substitution that I've been waiting for. Rodrigo Muniz coming off to be replaced by Raul Jimenez. And also coming off, number 17, Alex Iwobi. And he will be replaced by number 32, Emile Smith-Rowe. So Fulham 3, Brentford 1 as Iwobi and Rodrigo Muniz leave the field, replaced by Raul Jimenez and Emile Smith-Rowe. in the latest changes from Marco Silva. As we get ready for this game to come towards the end of the conclusion. 3-1 is the scoreline as we approach the final 10 minutes of this encounter. Free kick for Fulham. An offside inside the penalty area, which will be taken by Ben Leno. Ben Leno, I think, has just been booked, has it? No confirmation of a booking just yet. We'll wait and see, but I'm not sure if he has got booked by Ben Leno. Yes, he has. The first yellow card, obviously, for Ben Leno for time wasting. It's confirmed. Fulham 3, Brentford 1. As a throwing down this left-hand side from Ryan Sessegnon does well. Sessegnon does well, gives the ball away. Here's Emil Smith-Rowe, gives the ball away now. The man goes down here. But Fulham, referee says play on as Shoulder went down too. And both men now are back up on their feet. And Fulham have possession with Joachim Manson over halfway. Westfield pass towards Kevin, who can't bring it under his spell and keep the ball and play down that side. It'll be after a throw-in to Brentford, which will be taken by Michael Coyote. And remains by 3 goals to 1 if you're just joining us this afternoon. As we bring you the match this evening, who will come out on top in the end of this game? It looks like it may be Fulham who will win this game this evening, or will Brentford mount a comeback? It's a long throw for them on that far side. On the left, Coyote takes his short to Damsgaard to try a different tactic, headed away from Damsgaard's cross. On this for Emery, gets it back towards Coyote again. Good bit of play this. Here's Rico Emery. Emery looks to deliver a cross, doesn't know. Goes to Yarmouth instead. Out wide to this near side. The right for Atara. Atara takes on his man and gets past Lukic. Gets into the penalty area. Goes in field and drags his shot effort just wide of the target there from Atara. There, Dango Atara, brilliant bit of play. His effort just dragged wide in the end. And it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1 here on the commentary of Russ Vernon, guiding you through the action this evening. The ball will be played forward here. And it'll be a long ball forward from Brentford have won the ball back, but Fulham have just intercepted there as if they look to come forward. Kevin Shadow will leave it for Mikael Damsgaard to take, as Brentford look to try and get a way back into this game. He's out wide with Coyote, who looks to take a long throw this time, will he? He potentially will do. As he likes a long throw. Waiting for the central defenders to make their way into the penalty area, likes of Vandenberg, Collins and Ayer. Launched into the penalty areas, bouncing around inside the box. Headed back in towards the penalty area once more. Next inside penalty area. Here comes Kevin away. Loses out to Damsgaard. And now Fulham with Sessegnon in possession. Will Smith Rowe back, it goes to Bass. Will Fulham hang on here? We've played almost 84 minutes. Very short. I'll give my play the match to my producer first of all before giving it to you, our listeners out there. And my producer, if you're just joining us, is Luke Turton this evening. And the player of the match. He will be sent over just this second. Just give me one moment. There we go, look. As the ball is played down the far side, as Rico Emery tries to get towards the penalty area, Emery puts the ball in. He's deflected behind for a corner to Brentford. 85 minutes. Almost gone yet on the commentary of Russ Vernon getting through the actions. It's Fulham 3, Brentford 1, just into 85 minutes of the second half, as Fulham will make another substitution here, which will see Sasa Lukic be replaced by Tom Kearney. And the other sub, we'll see Harry Wilson come off. And Wilson will be replaced by... Who's Wilson coming off for? Let's have a look who Wilson comes off for. And he's coming off for the number 19, Samuel Chukwueze there, I believe. And then number 20, Sasa Lukic, replaced by Tom Kearney. So, no, it's number 15, sorry. George Quena comes on in place of Harry Wilson, and the other sub sees Tom Kearney replace Harry Wilson. Sees Sasa Lukic replaced by... So Sasa Lukic off, Quena on, Kearney off, Kearney on for Wilson. Has played well today for Fulham, but the player of the match has been chosen and will be announced during the next stoppage of play. Ball's in towards the penalty area, and he bounces behind for a goal kick to Fulham. And now there's the substitution here for Brentford, which will see Mikel Damsgaard be replaced by Fabio Carvalho in the match here. Damsgaard has played well. So therefore, a player of the match contender. So Fabio Carvalho comes on in his place. And it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1, if you're just joining us this evening. Here's Christoph Ayer to Nathan Collins to Seb Vandenberg. And now Rico Emery. Back to Vandenberg. Next time we have a stoppage in play, we will bring you the player of the match. And there is the ball from Yarmulke to Vandenberg, and he goes out of play for a throw-in. But Fulham looks like they're going to take it quickly, but they've been told to wait here. So while they're waiting for the throw to be taken, I can tell you that tonight's player of the match, sponsored by Football Live, goes to Fulham's number 3, Calvin Bassey, is the player of the match today. As it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1. We'll give you the player of the match again in just a couple of minutes' time, as our technology failed. We can give you the player of the match again in just a second, as the ball is going out of play. We'll try and give you it again right now. So tonight's player of the match, sponsored by Football Live, goes to Fulham's number 3, Calvin Bassey. This evening. Unfortunately, he's not coming up across the bottom of the screen, but I can tell you that he will be Calvin Bassey there as we watch this game unfold. As this is going to be a throw-in to Brentford. as we will see a long throw into the penalty area. He's headed on towards goal in the end from Collins, and he bounces the wrong side of the post there. As we come towards the end of this game, 10 seconds plus 10 seconds of the 90 to go, as we see the stoppage time added on here, and we've gone into 7 minutes at a time at the end of this match, so we're into 7 minutes stoppage time now. In the game as we watch on. As it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1. As we watch this game unfold. And it's either play for a throw-in. 3-1 Fulham lead here. If you're just joining us, goals coming after Dam's got to put Brentford into the lead. It was a goal, two goals in 2 minutes for Iwobi and Wilson. And then in the second half, Ethan Pinnacle on goal to make it Fulham 3, Brentford 1. Then with the ball forward, headed by Collins. Smith Rowe can't get there. The three that I mentioned that happened is went out for was a throw to Brentford, he went out for a goal kick to Fulham, and then Leno just kicked the ball downfield there as we see Ayer finding Yarmaluk. And now there is Keller across there to Vandenberg. If Brentford were to score in the next couple of minutes, it would make it a very interesting final few seconds of the game. And it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1. And you've got to say the yellow card has come out here for Kevin for chucking the ball away and delaying the restart. As here comes the ball towards the penalty. Can he break in there? And Fulham just put the foot on it and clear it. Some Kenny is fouled there by JanElt. And a free kick to Brentford there is the confirmation on that my screens there of Kevin's booking his first of the season for the new Brazilian in town. There as we watch on is Fulham 3, Brentford 1. If you're just joining us this afternoon or morning or evening, depending where you are across the world, as a ball is flicked on in the air. It breaks now towards the edge of the box. Not back forward towards the penalty area. As Fulham trying to get after him. Well, Jimenez can't get there. Now Brentford will try and come forward to try and get maybe a consolation goal. Maybe if they were to score, it could be time for a late push to try and get an equaliser, which would be a remarkable turnaround if Brentford were to get a point out of this game. And it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1 here as we watch this ball unfold as we see Brentford come forward with Kevin Schade. Schade will try and keep the ball in play. Goes infield there to Sanderberg. He now finds Anderson for Kearney now to come forward. Tom Kearney just keeping possession for Fulham. And he looks forward. Here's Smith Rowe around the corner. Well, then he goes out of play for a throw-in. And now, wonderful bit of play here. Out wide to Coyote, down line to Atara. Down go Atara. Good ball back to Coyote inside the penalty area. Edge of the penalty area is Yarmulke. Out wide to Atari once more. Atari with the cross in his cleared up into the air and away. And there's Keller just controlling well and finds Yarmouk. Yarmouk looks up. Fulham have got round about 2 minutes and 15 seconds or thereabouts left to go before the full-time whistle is blown here. It makes Fulham, Fulham 3, Brentford 1. Here's Coyote. A bit of footwork here. He breaks in field. Coyote again. Into Kevin Schade. Schade loses out. Tom Kearney can charge forward here now. Here's Kevin. Good bit of work from Kevin. Well work there. Breaks it forward. Atara can charge forward in towards the penalty area. Good challenge there by Batty, who gets the ball forward. And now it remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1 is the scoreline for this game this evening. If you're tuned in for the first time today, thank you very much for doing so. If you're tuned in for the first time, we really do appreciate it. If you're not tuned in for the first time and you're a returning listener, thank you very much as well. As we can give you the play of the match on the screen there. Now there is your play of the match, sponsored by Football Live. Calvin Bassey is the ticket that we tried using earlier on, wouldn't work. But there was our play of the match for our listeners to see. As remains Fulham 3, Brentford 1 as we're coming towards the closing stages of the game. And there is a full-time whistle. And Fulham have won by 3 goals to 1. Goals in the first half from Damsgaard who put Brentford into the lead before Iwobi and Wilson made it 2 at half time. Pinnock with the third on 50 minutes as Fulham got through the victory. Got the victory in the end, turned it around and got a fantastic 3 points. And again this week, following their victory last week against Leeds United. But full time at Craven Cottage this weekend is Fulham 3, Brentford 1. Rather, before we leave you in the next couple of minutes or so, let's just recap the Premier League scores for this evening's matches, or today's matches, should I say. Starting off with the early kick-off and the lunchtime kick-off, Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Brighton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1. West Ham United 1, Crystal Palace 2. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Leeds United 3. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. Fulham 3, Brentford 1. And on Sunday afternoon, 3 games for you Sunday. 1 game we've been in on the channel, which is Bournemouth against Newcastle at 2, Sunderland against Aston Villa at 2, and Arsenal against Manchester City is the game which kicks off at 4:30. And I can tell you the next game we've got here on the Commenttary Hub will be Arsenal against Manchester City. Join us on air at about 4:20, 4:25 as Arsenal take on Man City at the Emirates. But full time in our match this evening, it is finished. Fulham 3, Brentford 1. From myself, Russ Vernon, and the rest of the team here, and Luke Turton, we're going to say goodnight to you right now as we will see you again tomorrow afternoon. But for the full time score here is Fulham 3, Brentford 1. So from all of the team here, good night, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Goodbye for now, guys.